Hello again, everybody. It's JT here at Whose Views. How are you all? It's 6 o'clock here in the UK. We're live at 6 on Sunday, the 29th of June, 2025. Yes, June is nearing an end, which means, well, if you're outside the UK, possibly an end to all the nonsense when it comes around Pride. But here in the UK, we've got several Prides still going on over the next few months, so we've got to put up with it a little bit longer. But it has been muted. I said this on a live at 6 just a few weeks ago, didn't it? I felt it wasn't as in your face this year. I really feel it's been slightly muted this year. Very, very interesting. A lot of the prides here in the UK haven't gone ahead, or they've been toned down a bit because of lack of money and resources. It's interesting. It's interesting. Be interested to see what you think about it all as well, because I wonder what's going to be happening next year. Bearing in mind that Pride has now been taken over by the TQ cult. And no longer represents LGBT. The pictures I have seen from some of the prides in the UK spot anything to do with same-sex issues at all, because it's all T, it's all Q, it's all these other little things, furries and all this nonsense that's gone in as well. Anyway, yes, this is live at 6. This is the show on Whose Views where anything can go. We can talk about absolutely anything, dear me. And it's probably the one where I'm going to get to rant a bit more as well. But it's good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for spending some time with me on a Sunday afternoon. Good to see you. Who's in the chat? Let me go to the chat and see who's here. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. Yes. Oh, good. Kirsty's with me. Hi, Kirst. How are you? Now, Kirsty's given me some really interesting news today, which I'm very proud of. Kirsty went to look for me for Headlines, your big show coming up later on at 8 o'clock, of course, as Kirsty does. At the old Gram of Insta, which we were following, you know who. Yes, the one you can't talk about, RTD. Yes. Well, he's barred us. He's blocked us. Yeah, he's blocked the Whose Views account. Round of applause for Whose Views, I feel. I'm very proud about that. T-shirts are on the way. I can tell you. How pathetic are they? They don't like what you say. They're challenging what their belief is. This is what I mean about these far left ideological nonsense, these mincing ninnies especially. If you do not conform, they will cancel you. They will try to block you, or they will do something because they don't like being opposed, because a lot of their nonsense will come unraveled if you do oppose them. Shocking stuff, but I'm quite pleased about that. So congratulations to all of us. Yes, because he's blocked us. Hey, Kirst. Fabulous. Oh, Legion James with me. Hello, mate. How are you? And Joanne Madison, good to see you. How are you doing? I love Joanne's little picture there. We've seen her little avatar. She's like, yeah, enjoying life there, which is good. Wish I was at the moment. I'm not. I'm terrified of what's happened to my beautiful country, but there we go. Matt the Silent. Oh, you've changed it, Matt the Silent Music. Matt the Silent 777 Red. Ooh, there you go. Bubbles is with me. Hello, Bubbles. And that, of course, is Stephen. To let you know, Mr. Braddock there has done a chit chat with me. So he'll be on the show this week with a little chit chat. I love the chit chats because it's like this, but obviously somebody else is with me and I get to see you all. And if you're interested in a chit chat, by the way, you can come and email me there, whoseviews1@gmail.com. Put chit chat in the header so I know that you want to. And it's just a little 40-minute to an hour show with Dee and me chatting away about stuff that you want to talk about. New series starts doing with Stephen. If you've been in touch with me before, I've got Daniel lined up. But James, if you're out there, give me an email. Let's carry on from where we left off before that awful shooty season got to us. Hiya, Craig. Craig Dunlop's with me as well. And Frankie. Hiya, Frankie. Evening JT just finished the documentary on the Hacienda. Oh, the Hacienda. Did you? Where was that? Let me know where that was. Wow, that's great, isn't it? The Hacienda. I went there a couple of times back in the day, mate. Yeah, it's now flats, isn't it? They demolished the building and they put flats where it was near the canal. But in the old days, it was this old building where we used to go to, and I vaguely remember it in the late 80s. And I remember being impressed because Madonna had been there. I didn't take much in those days, and it was really good. I remember the atmosphere being electric. I do remember that. I was a student in Liverpool at the time. We'd gone over to the Hacienda. And the music was great. It was all the Stone Roses and stuff like that, which took me as a surprise because I wasn't expecting quite as much of the Manchester scene type music. But it was really good. Really enjoyed it. Tony Wilson as well, wasn't it? Tony Wilson. I grew up with Tony Wilson on the television not physically, but on the television, because he used to do Granada Reports. Yeah, and he had a big name in the music industry, wasn't he? Thanks for that, Frankie. Let me know where it was, or I'll look it up. Thank you. Edward. Hi, Edward Bracken. Hi, JT. I'm loving your Sea Devils review. I'm currently halfway through it. We'll finish it tomorrow during work. Quite right, too. Yes. We can distract you from your work. Thank you so much for that, actually. I'm going to be saying a lot of thank yous to everybody in headlines later on as well. But thank you for the feedback on the Sea Devils. It's done really well. And yeah, I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Absolutely fabulous. So thank you for that. Graham's with me. Hope you're enjoying the weather, buddy. Yeah, I am actually. It's been where I am. It's been a bit yicky over the last couple of days. But it's been all right today. It's been nice. So thank you. Yeah, really good. What else we got here for you? Oh, Adrian's with me. Hello, Adrian. Good to see you. Matt is saying, JT, did you see the thing I sent you? No. But did you send it to whose views? I'll probably get to it, Matt. I'll let you know when I get it. Okay. Hello, folks. Says JXF144. Hello, good to see you. And here's Marine Boy. Evening. Hello, Marine Boy. How's it going? Cody's with me as well. How are you doing, fella? Hope you're all well. And what's this from David? Hello, David. Hi, JT. I'm watching Battlefield. Oh, yes. Got Doctor Who DVD at last, and my TV has cinema sound. Well, good for you. Good for you. And you're catching up on Battlefield, are you? Oh, fab. Well, I hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're enjoying it, mate. You've got 2 editions there as well, because you've got the special edition on there as well, haven't you? Let's have a look. What else have we got? What have we got? Ah, yes. Kirsty's saying to us there that RTD blocked the channel, and then Kirsty as well. Legion James saying to me, Pride really has been muted, but it seems the propaganda, hatred, and socially accepted prejudice against the Jews has escalated courtesy of Glastonbury in the BBC live stream, and my blood is boiling. Yeah, I understand what you're saying there as well. Yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about you know whom and his appearance at Glastonbury in the main show at 8 o'clock in your Big Sunday Show headlines. But I'm not impressed myself at Glastonbury. It used to be all about music. Now it's about nonsense and stupidity, as far as I can tell, and supporting groups, in my opinion, that nobody should be supporting because of their very dodgy history. I don't know what I can say and what I can't say anymore on this. Bill's saying to us here, congratulations at the blocking, you're doing something right. Yeah. I think so. I really do. I'm quite pleased about that. As I say, t-shirts will be coming. I'm working on them. You can get them. You can get them from our Who's Views shop. Yeah. And hello, PTA. How are you doing? What have we got? Oh, what's this, Matt? I didn't change my name. YouTube changed things, so we're now known by our identities. How are you? Didn't know that. Maybe I got an email about that. Didn't know. And what you're saying to me here, Steve, JT's banned you move for him. You at least took proper Doctor Who. You should feel very proud. What a win. It is, isn't it? It is a real big win for us. I'm really not bothered. I'm really not bothered that he's blocked us at all, because we can still see what you're saying, you silly old fool. It's good to see you all. Thanks for joining me. Here we go. Anthony Parkinson's with me as well. RTT has the emotional temperament of a teenage girl. Most of them do now, but he's 62 years old, 62, 63. He should know better, shouldn't he? And he's been through an awful lot of stuff. Sheila Bay of the Devotions, how are you? Nice to see you. And Paul Ashworth is saying, PTA, Tony Wilson was a legend. Yeah. He was a great broadcaster as well. He was very confident, wasn't he? I don't know if any of you remember him from Granada Reports, but he was always very, very confident and assured and very relaxed. Very, very good. I always liked him. Yeah, so anyway, I want to crack on because this is as I say, this is a show where I just get to talk to you guys and you can talk to me, and the stuff that I need to get off my chest, basically. And one of them is the usual when it comes to all this LGBTQ+++. Have you noticed the acronyms are getting bigger and bigger every week? It's absolutely ridiculous. The short way to look at this is everything after the B is heterosexual, and we don't want anything to do with it. But why it's all forced on LGBT? Is it because they think that the LGBs are, as we were, a very tolerant and accepting community that will just go meh and walk on? I think that's what it's down to. But now we're not, because they keep pushing all this crap on us, much of which is homophobic. So we're not going to stand for that, are we? Honestly. And that includes this lot from LGBTU Scotland. Look at this. There has never been an LGB without the T, and there never will be. Trans rights are human rights. And then they've got some sort of stupid apart from the slogan, they've got some stupid green witches fingernail hands there in the trans colours, of course. LGBT Scotland, which they say they're making Scotland the best place for LGBTQ plus young people to flourish and thrive. Now, LGBT Youth Scotland was set up years ago in Glasgow, and I know that because I was there around about the time it was being formed in the 90s, the early 90s. Oh, there's stories that you can tell. Oh, yes, indeed. But I might save that for another show. But bearing in mind, anybody from LGBT Youth Scotland tuning in, I'm aware of your origins. Anyway, over the last few years, of course, they have been captured by the TQ cult and the lies that they push. These people, LGBT Youth Scotland, get money from the public purse and are approved by the Scottish government. They've had major influence from Stonewall. So when Stonewall started to say that trans women were women and trans men were men, LGBT Youth Scotland, as did a lot of the Pride committees, as did everything else in the LGBT community, including our bars and clubs, rolled over and accepted that fact. They even accepted the Stonewall redefining of what it means to be same-sex attracted. And their chairperson at the time, who went along to say, right, if you are same-sex attracted and you're not including trans men or trans women in your dating pool, then you are bigoted and transphobic. Didn't care at all about the fact that if a gay man goes out with a trans man, that's called heterosexuality or bisexuality at best. LGBT Youth Scotland, though, with this poison, are in every school in Scotland. They are teaching vulnerable young people about this. They are teaching young people about pronouns, what it is to be non-binary, which you can't be if you're a human being, it's a lie. Trans issues, which they never ever do. They split up into transgender or transvestite, two very different things. They're teaching them that there are more than two genders. And they're also teaching them that some of them may be trapped in the wrong body. I find it appalling. Defund LGBT Youth Scotland immediately, I say. Especially when they're coming out with this propaganda. Look at it, it's absolutely sickening. And what is it about the green hands and the nails? What are they trying to do there? Now, one of the other things on there, as you can see, is trans rights are human rights. Now, I have been asking now for some considerable time, what rights do transgenders not have here in the UK? Of course, they can't answer me because at the moment, just by a thread, we're still living in a democratic society. Everybody just at the moment, to a point, by a thread, is treated equally. I know it's questionable, don't. But they have the same rights as all the rest of us. Those transgenders, their rights were achieved through same-sex attracted men and women's achievements in getting rights here in the UK. So they've benefited. Now they're taking over everything that we own, our bars, our clubs, our publications, our prides, and our LGBT groups. I find this ridiculous. So the other thing on there, I just want to challenge from anybody watching this vile organization. There has never been an LGBT without the T, and there never will be. Liars. Let's go back a few years to Stonewall themselves. The lesbian, gay, and bisexual charity is what Stonewall used to be known as. The Good Practice Guide that they originally published, and this one was from the 7th in a series from Stonewall, Britain's lesbian, gay, and bisexual charity, LGB. This is the other thing that they've cottoned on to here, everybody, as well, because of Stonewall's original same-sex attracted LGB focus, they did some cracking work, as I know, in the 80s and into the 90s. They did meet with businesses and they did present same-sex attracted rights. They did and issues to employers, which is why tolerance eventually came in around about the turn of the century. It took a long time because up until the turn of the century in this country, you could be fired from your job if you were outed as being same-sex attracted. And then thankfully, the generation before me and my generation especially came out screaming and told me, don't care, do what you want. Prides became more vociferous and more big. Businesses started to see, yeah, we've got to treat people properly as new generations came in. Again, benefiting the T. The Q has been added over the last few years. And that doesn't necessarily mean anybody who's same-sex attracted, because there's nothing queer about being same-sex attracted. It's come along. It's usually used, as I've said before, by narcissistic heterosexuals who need validation and are seeking attention. But there it is there for you, anybody from LGBTU Scotland. You're lying, because yes, it always was LGB. It's just had a load of crap enforced onto us. And we don't like it, quite frankly. We don't want it. So hashtag LGBT without the TQ is a thing. They don't like it, but it is a thing. And you're actually showing exactly why there's a split and a divide in our community. A once great community as well. Legion of James is saying to me here, rights were all fought and won by the original LGBT movement, but now it's about dominance and pushing down of others' rights for their own nefarious gain, pushing homophobia and transing the gay away. Now, what he means by that is that there have been examples now where young people have shown some sort of effeminacy, or they've shown some sort of attraction to a young person. And then basically what's been happening is that they've been pushed down the transgender route. That shouldn't be happening in my eyes to young children. I don't agree with that at all. Just let kids be kids. And you can deal with it when they get to 18, 19 years old. Hi, Jess Corbin. How are you? It's good to see you. Nice to see you. Frankie, Stonewall won the contract to run CITV on ITV in the late 80s from Central Television. Did it? I never knew that. I don't remember that one. I don't remember that one at all, but that's interesting. And you're also telling me that Tesco sponsored the Pride Awards the other week. Yes, I know. And I'm not very amused by Tesco's branding. They actually, if you're going into a Tesco, they not only use that poisonous flag, the TQ flag, which is the rainbow flag with that awful bloody triangle inserted into it with the pink, the blue, the white, the brown, and the black. Horrible thing come over from America. But they actually add the circle into it, which I believe means heterosexual. I believe. Or something that's still not associated with us. Isn't that ridiculous? What is going on? What is going on? I know Steve's saying that he works at Tesco. I know people that work in Tesco as well. I just wish their management would stop with the actual nonsense. Honestly. But there we go. That's that bit there as well. But I just wanted to get that through. Now, I did have, and I'll read this to you. I did have some feedback from a member of LGBT plus Youth Scotland. And this is Katie. Hello, Katie. Because I've been, of course, on the old social media calling these sorts of things out. And here is what it is. Now, Katie, no offense, maybe a little, is older than me. White liberal woman. They're the women that are going to destroy the world, quite frankly, because they're so set on being virtuous. And Katie proves it here. Now, she starts this response to me with 2 purple hearts, whatever that means. And here was I, believing that everyone had the right to be seen and heard and not hidden away as if they are less important than anyone else. Scotland's national charity for LGBTQ plus young people aged 13 to 25. We support young people in all aspects of their lives through the provision of amazing youth work, and we support them to use their voice to create change in equality and human rights. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? That's what they think. They all think they're doing the right thing. So when I got back to her and said, yes, and what about the homophobia, was blocked instantly, wasn't I? Just no, that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. They're not going to have that discussion. And it seems like the trans issue, the transgender issue now, absolutely trumps the homosexual, the same-sex attracted issue. Nobody cares about us anymore because we've got to do what we're told. As you can see from people like RTD and Andy Pryor and Ncuti Gatwa and all these other people in the public eye, you know, that from our perspective, all to do with our show. If you don't agree with them, you get blocked, just like our channel has done by RTD. Thanks very much for that. Brilliant. Somebody else that I was worried about this week, by the way, everybody. And thankfully, oh, look at that from Steve there from Bubbles. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Yeah, right. Yeah. They think they've got good intentions, but they haven't, have they? insisting that their belief, their ideology, their opinion is the correct one, and then enforcing it on the rest of us. That's dictatorship, and it shouldn't be allowed. Really, we've got to look at all this. These people on that side, I'm so glad I'm not actually deemed to be left anymore, because these far leftists are just insane as far as I'm concerned. Oh, what's this from Frankie? Yes, JT, Stonewall ran CITV till 91, 92 using Broad Street Studios with Scally the Dog and Glenn Lindsay. Then Central re-won the contract with Tommy Boyd. Oh, I remember Tommy Boyd coming in, but I don't remember what was on before them at all. 91 to 92, I was working though. I was working, and that's just before my experience with Stonewall. Thanks for that. That's interesting. I'm going to go and look into that. I hope the blocking won't cause you any lost sleep, says Bill. No, it won't. It just means we can get merchandise done about it, can't we? We can all celebrate it. Whose views blocked by RTD? There's a hashtag. Yes, so there was somebody else I was worried about. Now, you may have seen this actually as well. But of course, I'm talking about BBC news presenter Martine Croxall. Martine Croxall, who has suddenly become a hero to many. Now, Martine was reading the news on the BBC News channel, and she was reading this statement from whoever it was. I don't know where it was now, because I was more interested in what she was saying. And it's part of this statement, I think it might have been the NHS, but part of this statement was something blah, 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 blah. And then it mentioned pregnant people. Pregnant people. Now, being no fool and being a realist, and obviously being a journalist with some sort of honesty, integrity, and common sense, she changed that live on air. And what she did, and I'll reenact it for you, is that she was basically going like this. She was reading off the auto cue, and she went, pregnant people, women. And she corrected it to women. Quite rightly too, because only women can have babies, This is the problem with all these idiots running around saying it's got to be inclusive language. Oh, bugger off. Only women can have babies. That's a fact. Trans women cannot, because they are men. Do you know the NHS can be really hypocritical as well? And on one hand, they can say we've got to be having all this inclusive language, and we've got to include trans women and all the women's things. And on the other hand, they're calling trans women in to have the testicles checked and their prostates checked for the old C word. Get a grip. You're supposed to be medical professionals, you bloody idiots. They all go on about, you've got to follow the science until it doesn't suit them. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, yes, so Martine Croxall, she did this live. Now, of course, it was put then onto X and other social media platforms, and people got hold of this, and an awful lot of common sense people praised her, including myself. Praised her. Well done, you. But some of us were quite worried about what action would the BBC take, because you know how woke the BBC is, a term I don't like, but you know how far left ideological the BBC are. Now, fortunately, the BBC, I believe, I couldn't find it myself, but the BBC put out some sort of thing saying no action will be taken with Martine. So that is good. That is good, because that is a fact. What she said is fact. Something that these idiots don't like, especially the people in the BBC. They don't like fact. But certain people, of course, got to her, as you would expect, including a few people in the old industry of show. Nonsense. And this particular fella, who I've got no time for. Have you heard of India Willoughby? I've got no time for him. Now, India Willoughby is a trans woman. And by God, everybody knows it, because he never shuts up about it. I wish he'd just go away. And he's a bit of a venomous, poisonous old hag, in my opinion, as well. Really horrible. Always on the spat with JK Rowling, of course, who owns him completely, because she's far more intelligent than this person who used to be a journalist. But look at this, what he put on his social media. If Martine Croxall had erased black, gay, or Muslim people from a scripted story, she'd been sacked. Yes, at BBC News, even if it was because of religious beliefs. So how can you allow this when it's done to trans men and non-binary people? She needs to be fired. Oh, give us a break. Shut up, you bloody idiot. Now, I would have told him this myself, to say shut up, but I've told him so often he's blocked me. And I'm not bothered again, because I can still see stuff, because when he speaks, people report it with his delusions. He's just one of those awful things that Tennant won at the LGBTQI plus award things that we talked about on Headlines last year or the year before, whenever it was. You know, one of those stupid awards with LGBTQ written on it, you know, as a champion or something. Those awards are poisonous as well, honestly. Honestly, absolutely ridiculous. But look at that. Isn't that nonsense? How can you allow this when it's done to trans men and non-binary people? There is no such thing as non-binary people in you. I mean, these people are just so deluded. This is what happens when you close the mental institutions. Maybe we should reopen them, put them all in there. We've got a load of them standing in the field in Somerset right now. That needs to be in a in a mental institution. Go and pick them up. That's part of it done. Let's see who's in the chat with me. Hello. Hello. Oh, look at you. It's good to see you. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. What have we got here as well? Oh, who's this one? Gavin Graham, 2851. Hello, Gavin. How are you? I watched Liverpool's Pride March from 2024. You covering the sad news recently. And while any march organizer might be optimistic, 25,000 passing in 30 minutes is LGBT impossible. Yeah. 2024, I was there, Gavin. Yeah, I was at the Pride. I had noticed, though, way before that, I would say from really the start of, I'd say from around about 2014, 2015, a slight change, you know, when various prides were saying, oh, no, we can't be political anymore. Oh, we can't do this. No, there can't be any statements. No, there can't be any of this. Oh, we're a Mardi Gras, Manchester. You know, all this sort of stuff. And that's when I thought, well, Pride's losing its edge because we've got to keep promoting same-sex issues. And then they started going, no, we've got to be inclusive and we've got to be tolerant and we've got to have this group in and this group. And I'm saying to the various prides that I was trying to work with, what's this got to do with same-sex issues? So, of course, you don't get anywhere. You know, you're asked to leave the room. But nice to see you, Gavin. Hello. Nice to see you. Jess, what are you saying to me, Jess? Illusion is always far worse when it is followed by delusion. No guesses who the deluded are. Well, as I say, they're all standing in a bloody field at the moment. Mark, hello, Mark 9165. Mark, I'm blocked on X by Russell Crowe. No idea why. Never talked to the man. Maybe he's got one of those stupid things like H from Step, Scott. You know, because H from Step said some really stupid things over the last few years, and then he got himself that thing on X that takes out the keywords or the white words and then blocks everybody for you. So within an hour or 2 hours, he got rid of millions of fans, basically because they won't subscribe to his nonsense. Don't start me on H. He's a hypocrite as well. Do you know what? I'm off. He stood at the sidelines in the 90s when he was with Steps and hid in his little flat in Greenwich or wherever he was going to be. And he hid and he didn't want anything to do with the movie. And he was told by the music industry, you can't come out, even though it was glaringly obvious he was screaming ninny. And, you know, can't do this. He would hide, would creep into gay bars. Other things I can tell you, but can't. Now look at him. Oh, trans women are women. Oh my God, it's so brilliant that I can now talk this way. Oh, it's so brilliant that we've reached the stage where I can wear a dress on stage. Oh, bugger off, H. Bloody idiot. You are 30 years behind the rest of us, and now you've got it wrong, and you've sold us down the blooming Mersey, I tell you. These people are just ridiculous. Hello, Tornado Chaser, TC1, Television Centre 1. Nice to see you with Night Rider there. Why is it some channels are showing usernames and now some, including this one, are showing handles instead? No idea. I haven't done anything. Hands up, not done a thing. Don't know, mate. No idea. John, the computer doctor. Hello, John. Well done, Martine. Exactly. Yeah, well done, Martine. And we've got here, saw Martine live, change her statement mid-auto cue. Did you, Steve? Good for her. Yeah, exactly. She's obviously no nonsense because the way she did it was just perfect as well. She sort of the role of the women, as any person with common sense would do when you see this nonsense coming through, you know, the way that they want us to talk. Again, it's dictation. It's not pregnant people, it's pregnant women or pregnant woman, isn't it? Only women get pregnant and then they go through 9 months of the thing, you know. God love them, I say. What's this from Darling Lives Matter? Their twisted morality is destined to fall. Politicians have had their use from them. Well, politicians, again, some of them are standing in a bloody field now. Some of them need to be hauled up, I tell you, or fired. I would say, because they are just ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? There are several. I'm wondering, how have they got into Westminster? How have they got there? I just get so frustrated, Who viewers, because every day I don't recognise my very own country that I was born into. This is not the Britain I was born into, and I don't know where it's going, and it frightens me because I see so much stupidity and nonsense and things that are very un-British like going on in this country. And I won't bend the knee, and I will not play ball. And God, I just hope there are millions more than there are millions that I've seen, especially over the last couple of days, if you know what I'm saying, waving the bloody flags. Get a bloody grip, you idiots. They don't even go and research, do they? They don't even look at history, even modern recent history. You know, let's start with December 1988, shall we? We can move through there. Look what's going on in New York. Have they forgotten 9/11? Heaven's sake, it frightens me. But in our country, it really does. It frightens me so much. Sometimes I can't sleep, to be quite honest, because of what's going on in this country. Sheila B in the devotions, how are you? Lovely. I'm so tired of this LGBT, etc. nonsense. More and more people are. And unfortunately, Sheila B, what's happening from the back of that is that it's driving homophobia, because the homophobia from the TQ cult is just the start. They brought all this in. But it's driving more because there is now resentment coming, and people don't realize that LGB and LGBTQI plus are two different communities. So I've had it this very week with some homophobia as well. Now, I'm old school, so I can deal with it. But some of our younger viewers here who write to me saying they are worried about being told all this crap because they think they're just gay. And if you are, don't let them push you into anything else. You're fine. You're welcome here on Whose Views. They wouldn't know what to do because they haven't been given, or they haven't been brought up with the backbone to fight for themselves and argue for themselves. And also, of course, society looks down on that. You're probably the one in the wrong. I just get worried about the whole thing. So LGB without the TQ, everybody. What else forgot? Oh, it's nice to see you all. Thank you. Sheila's also saying to me, I used to like H. Yeah. He won't remember me, but I remember him from back in the late 90s. Greenwich. Yeah. Got no time for him these days at all. Jordan. Hiya, Jordan. How are you, pal? Hi, JT. I lost a few friendships a few weeks back over this, and because I had similar views on how I tell them I'm right and they're wrong, because it's annoyed me. They're supposed gay friends. Mate, join the club. So have I. People I've grown up with over 40 years. And as one of my best friends said to me, we didn't leave the left left us. And that's how I look at it, because he's right. And we've lost a lot of friends that have been there because they bent the knee to this. And they always said, it was saying to me as they were, shouting at me, how can you say these things? How can you say a trans woman is a man and a trans man is a woman? How can you say this? And I said, because it's true, it's fact. And as a gay man, I know that. And as a gay man, you should know that. But they won't do that. They won't think it through. They won't be logical. And now they're too far down the road. They can't turn back on it. And that's where I think a lot of these idiots in show business and the businesses are as well, even though the Supreme Court in the United Kingdom has stepped in and said, would you all just get a bit of common sense? But Jordan, you know where I am. We're all here. There's a few of us here. So yes, keep in touch. You can email me anytime as well, mate. Craig saying, yes, the only thing I didn't like about steps was that they were crap. Yeah, I must admit at the time, I didn't like them because I thought they were just a camp tinny band that would last 10 minutes. But then they sort of grew on me, because they didn't last 10 minutes. They were around for a while, weren't they? And they were sort of fun back then as well. But now H has really killed that band for me. Chris Lawley, what are you saying to me, Chris? Is there now a population without beliefs needing a cause to justify their lives, believing social media allowed minorities are going to give their lives meaning without questioning? I think too many of them thrive on Toki Tiki, and they get their views from Toki Tiki, which is poisonous and wrong. And in my day, Chris, you had to go to research through books. Now, when it comes to the LGBT stuff, anything from 2018, I would say do not look at, because it's got the revisionist history that Martha P. Johnson was transgender, was a transgender woman and was at the Stonewall riots and kicked it off. That is not true. As any decent gay man will tell you, or lesbian will tell you, that is not true. He wasn't even there. He was several blocks down off his head, if you know what I mean. And he was late to the party. It was same-sex attracted men and women that started the Stonewall riots in 1969 and then carried that on after that to achieve the rights that we now have today. Transgenders had bloody sweet FA to do with it, quite frankly. Nothing to do with it. And I can't stand the fact that they've been on TikTok and all this sort of stuff. They've been rewriting our history. So I reckon, Chris, yes. Yes, I know what you mean. I say this a lot, actually, and a certain age group will get this, actually, mate. Yeah, that old Kenny Everett sketch comes to mind. Let's round them up, put them on the field, and yes, and yeah, you can't say it, of course, but you know what I'm thinking. You know what we're saying. Oh dear. What else we got? Jess is saying to me here, if we recall A.A. Milne Toad of Toad Hall, with the weasels getting kicked out of Toad Hall. Oh yes, the ones who ended up in Parliament, the biggest bunch of weasels going, allegedly. Yeah, I've got no time for a lot of them. I do worry though as well, because I look at who's in there already, especially in that ridiculous version of the Labour Party now. They're all activists and kids without a clue. And I think, my God, what's going to happen? You know, I look around. I can't see any strong common sense British outlooks coming through, and that worries me, Jess. It really, really does. I think I'm frightened for the future of this country. Hi, Stephen O'Neill. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining me. Frankie's saying that he's in Motherwell, just outside Glasgow. Sunny here too. Yeah, good. I'm pleased about that. My friend Pete lives in Motherwell. Chris Lawley. The TQ plus flag is not the pride flag. Correct, Chris. Absolutely. And I just want to, on that point, happy birthday, 47 years to the original proper LGB flag, the rainbow flag. 47 years old this week. Isn't that amazing? Of course, in recent years, it has been bastardized by the use of that bloody triangle that they've pushed into everything, and the circle, and God knows what else they want to do. Ugh. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. It's great to see so many of you joining me for my little therapy session here. Legion of James saying to me here, JT is spot on. Oh, thanks, mate. The rise in anti-gay sentiment as a result of the TQ cult's never-ending rhetoric is seeing some of the prejudice of the past beginning to rear its head again. So the LGBT need to speak up. And yet we're not all together and we can't do it. We don't have the same sort of clout anymore, do we, mate? Because we're divided. And I have had it this week. Myself, some homophobia. And not from heterosexuals in front of me, but from apparently same-sex attracted kids, men, boys, whatever you want to call them. Unbelievable. Hello to Anton. Hello, Anton. Anton Brannigan. Nice to see you. Delighted to find this channel a few weeks ago. A beacon of common sense and humour in random. Cheers. Oh, well, thank you. And thank you for joining us. If you are new to the channel, if you are just finding us, please do subscribe. Come and join us. We've got lots of stuff going on. If you've already joined the channel, as a lot of you have, please make sure you're still subscribed. Because yes, I can't understand it, who views. I'm still getting emails from people saying they're being unsubscribed. What's YT doing? Why do they do that? It's totally bizarre. Trying to grow the channel here, trying to bring us all together. But it's a great community, Anton. Got some brilliant people that join our show. So welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. And PTA, thank you so much for your super chat there. H should be put in a cell block, prison cell block. H, get you what you're saying. Get what you're saying there. That's funny. That's a joke if anybody's watching. Can't even have a joke these days in this country, I tell you. Oh, Gerard. Hello, Gerard. Nice to see you, Gerard Early. To be honest, the historical revisionism started in earnest in 2013 with Tumblr drinking the gender Kool-Aid. Did it? As I say, yeah, I did notice certain things starting from around about 2013, 2014, and some prides where they started to back down from presenting same-sex issues. My dates now are getting all a bit fuzzy, but there was one time when I went to join the committee of Manchester Pride, and I was eventually asked after a very heated 40 minutes to leave. They said, you're not suitable, because they wanted to turn it into a Mardi Gras, and I wanted to celebrate 50 years of Stonewall, whenever that was, and also to have an exhibition to show young people about the history of LGB. And they said, no, we can't do that. No, we're not having that. I'm now beginning to understand why. I think it was starting then. So good to see you, Gerard. Yeah, you're probably very, very right. Oh, nonsense, is it? But when it comes to what's her name? Martine Croxall. Good for her, I say. Good for Martine Croxall. Now, with Martine, there was an awful, there were some of the crackpots that went after it, including, as I say here, India Willoughby, who wouldn't let it lie. For some bizarre reason, invariably, JK Rowling came into this, and the attacks on JK Rowling continued. Now, JK Rowling did actually stand up for Martine, saying it's so refreshing to see somebody do this or something like that on the national broadcaster. So, of course, they all went after JK again, didn't they? But she's too good, JK, isn't she? She's far too good. And in response to this one from Faith, I hate living on Turf Island where broadcasters literally go against their journalistic integrity by changing a quote mid-air because they are threatened by inclusive language. There it is there, inclusive language, i.e. enforcing it onto everybody else when it's a lie. JK came back and said, I love living on Turf Island, where a female journalist demonstrates true journalistic integrity by speaking the truth about biological reality rather than parroting ideological language imposed on her from above. She's brilliant, isn't she, JK Rowling? I do love her. I do love her. She's fantastic. She doesn't care, does she? I mean, she's richer than God. And she's got nothing to, you cannot touch her, you cannot cancel her, and thank God, because she speaks the truth all the time. She's had her entire personal history, she's had a history with show business, she's done this, she's the first ever billionaire author in the United Kingdom. And as far as I'm concerned, she's a hero of mine. I absolutely love her. Not only do I love all her books, and I can't wait for the next straight one. I was talking about that a few weeks ago. Do you remember? That's out in September, apparently. I can't wait. The last one ended on a cliffhanger. I've been waiting nearly 2 years to find out what happens. I bet she sets it a few months after as well. Oh, that would drive me mad. Anyway, what was the thing? Yeah, she's brilliant. And because she's got this real strong way with words, obviously, she can cut them all down and they don't like it. And they just come back with the cheap shots. Really cheap shots. But so good for her. But there we go. Andrew Parker saying to me, the SNP in Scotland got so bad that Westminster had to step in. It's very embarrassing as a Scotsman. It blooming was. That whole incident, in case you don't know, what the SNP, Scottish Government, was going to do was enforce everybody to say that a trans woman was a woman and a trans man was a man. They wouldn't try to bring it in law. And then Westminster came in and said, absolutely not. You cannot do that. And they brought into, because it's a Scottish Government is devolved like the Welsh and the Northern Ireland, which I'm not particularly fond of myself now. If I was Prime Minister, I'd scrap all that and take it all back. But that's just me. But it's because of the failings of this one and my experience with this one, I'd say. It doesn't work. What a waste of taxpayers' money. But anyway, yes, that's what was going to happen. And they brought out this seldom used little clause in the contracts, as it were, to say you can't do that. And they stopped it. And they've been sulking ever since. And they're sulking again now because the Supreme Court came out and said, no, have some common sense. And now they've got to follow that. But the SNP, riddled with TQ cult activists, as are the Scottish Green Party. Maggie Chapman, please. Oh, God, awful. Absolutely awful. Matt is saying to us here, show JK some respect. She created one of the best franchises of all time. She did, yeah, but the fans have turned on her, especially in America. They have turned on her because they've all jumped on the bandwagon. I mean, every time I say to them, prove to me where she said something transphobic, of course they can't. And I'll push the issue and then they'll block me because they can't, because she never has. She never has. She stands up for women's rights. She's never said anything transphobic. And she also stands for LGB and she stands for T. You know, in that sense as well, she stands for equality to everybody. But because women are being got at, that's the one that's come out, and they don't like it. Andrew Parker is saying good old JK, and Steve Hindley saying inclusive usually means the opposite, doesn't it, Justin? Don't we all know it? Somebody else that wasn't very particularly happy, of course, over the last week with JK Rowling was Lorraine Kelly. Hello, my name's Lorraine Kelly, and that's great. And Boy George. Now, can we really still keep calling him Boy George? He's 63 years old. Can we really? But yeah, George appeared on the awful show, Lorraine, hosted by Lorraine Kelly in the morning, which has been going for about 600 years. Honestly. And she's another one that's gone down this whole thing. She thinks she's being inclusive, doesn't she? Because she always supported LGBT issues, and now she's supporting the TQ culture because, again, she's misinformed. She thinks it's all part of one big happy family, but she's somebody else that won't look at the homophobia from the TQ loss. Oh no, she won't. That doesn't matter. Oh no, it's all big one. Oh, I've got gay friends. Oh, I've got trans friends. Oh, big whoopie doop to you. But your information is wrong, and so are you. And she had Boy George on, who's just as bad and such a hypocrite. But look at this. This is from the Daily Mail. JK Rowling hits back after TV's Lorraine claims trans row comes down to toilets. Now, this is what makes me laugh all the time, because Lorraine said this on the show, and I've seen the clip, and then after being sick in a bucket, I had to, I just thought, oh my God, because, everybody has to mention toilets. I've even had it over the weekend myself, where somebody I was arguing with said, oh, but yeah, right, they don't have the rights now. Trans women and trans men don't have the rights to use the toilets. Of course they do. They just use the proper one that they, from birth. So a trans woman uses a man's, trans woman uses a men's. And if they aren't comfortable, go and find another alternative. But why should women be put in uncomfort for you, for your gratification? There's the hypocrisy with this. So from that article there from the Mail, this was all based on George and really going for JK. Now, they've had a spat, of course, on X as well. And JK, of course, is wiping the floor with him. The last one I saw was something like, one would have thought that you'd be very pleased from the extra publicity you've got out of me. Who cares about George? Boy George. Who cares about him? We all know what he did to a male. Chained him to a radiator. Went to prison for it. It's a fact. Look it up. Bloody hell. But this article was JK Rowling has hit out at Lorraine Kelly after the Scots TV host appeared to dismiss concerns about biological men in female-only spaces. Days after the Harry Potter writer took a swipe at Boy George, the 1980 singer appeared on Lorraine, where the chat turned to trans issues. Of course it did, because it's, hello, Lorraine Kelly. She's obsessed. Bringing up on their online spat, the presenter declared it always comes down to toilets, and I don't quite know why. But Miss Rowling, who has long campaigned for women's rights, fired back saying, why does it boil down to toilets? Tee-hee-hee. It doesn't, Lorraine. It boils down to intact male rapists in female prisons, men using supposedly female-only rape crisis centres, the decimation of women's sports, and the authoritarian attacks of freedom of speech and belief. There you go. There you go. On her show, Lorraine Kelly said it had been very tough for the trans community over certain time, over immediate times. Well, yeah, try being a woman, or try being a gay man or woman. Yeah, welcome to the world, Lorraine. You're on the wrong side. The host, 65, being in show business, of course, asked this question to George: do you think that we'll ever get to be a case where I really love it to be, where it really, really doesn't matter, and we just let people get on with their lives? George, 64, told her, most people, it doesn't matter. It matters only whether you're a nice person or a horrible person. And that's exactly what it's all down to, isn't it? They illustrated it brilliantly there. It's not about the issues. It's not about anybody else. It's about how they come off, how they look to other people, how they present. Oh, look at me. I'm a nice person because I'm doing this, or I'm doing this, or I'm tolerant to this, or I'm fighting for this, or I'm arguing for this. Hypocrites. They make me sick. They really do make me sick. So that was that. If you've been watching the music events, not what it was, is it? Some far left ideological ridiculous group that I have nothing to do with, I think they're called Led by Donkeys or something like that, did this whole thing about we're sending people to space, the people we don't like, boo hoo hoo, or whatever. Try and be clever, idiots. Anyway, they did one for JK Rowling, and look at this. Have you seen this? They've made her look absolutely bloody brilliant. Look at this. So this has been added to this picture. This is the picture of JK superimposed onto the spaceship. This has been added to by people who have taken that and owned it in good tradition. So defending women's rights to infinity and beyond. I think she looks bloody brilliant there, based on her picture that she put up where she was smoking a cigar and having a whiskey, which is obviously getting those pictures, those memes you've got of that fella with, the old fella with the beard, that one. But isn't that brilliant? And I love this. I thought, if that's a poster, isn't that amazing? It could also be a really great book cover, don't you think, viewers? So whoever these idiots are, it's backfired. It's backfired because that looks bloody brilliant. And congratulations to the people that took it and said, yay, brilliant. Good Good for them. Hello to the Core Sci-Fi Fantasy. Nice to see you. Hi, Rose. It's good to see you. Rose Kirby's with me. What are you saying to us? Hi, folks, says Rose Kirby. Hope you are cool and calm. This heat isn't getting to you. Hope everybody's safe. But I have a question. What are you talking about? My eyesight is failing again. I'm just rambling, Rose, at the moment. But yeah, come back at 8 o'clock for your big show, Sunday headlines, 8 o'clock tonight. But at the moment, I'm just talking about various things that have annoyed me through the week and or brought to my attention. Okay. But thank you for joining in. Good to see you, Rose. I hope you're healthy. What else we got here? Forbidden Man saying nothing wrong with JK. And Craig Dunlop saying, I remember when Robbie Coltrane died and the TQ cult were all saying on Twitter that he should. Oh, really? His prime remaining friends with JK Rowling, utterly disgusting. Yeah, and sadly, a lot of the Harry Potter fans, like Doctor Who fans, have gone the same way. And Potter fans are divided just as much as us. And I suppose it's the same for all of us, whether you be Star Trek or Star Wars or Indiana Jones or whatever, comic books. It's all the same, isn't it? Because so much of this stuff has been infiltrated. Yeah. What's this from? Cursed. The Q section of Glastonbury made art with her in an orange jumpsuit. That's it. Smoking a cigar and martini. She said it was an honor. They put her in the same category as Trump, Mustama, etc., etc. Yeah, everybody they didn't seem to like. But she does look brilliant in it, though, doesn't she? It has backfired, Cursed. Look at that. Isn't that brilliant? Absolutely brilliant. I wouldn't be surprised if that starts to appear now, everybody. You know, at rallies or something like that. You know, the LGBT Alliance conference, that sort of stuff, where those things are put on posters. Andrew Parker, you're right. And that's a fact. It's like people talking about it. I can't talk to him anymore because he blocked me on Thursday. After years of me saying, shut up. Thank you, Steve, for that one. Good to see you. Let's see what else you're saying in the chat with me here. Don't forget, your big show is on the way. 8 o'clock tonight, headlines. Lots to talk about in that as well, by the way, everybody. Lots. Matt Henspiel, good to see you, mate. By all accounts, LK is a nasty piece of work. As for BG, Hish, New Tifa, Shoy, Rylan-esque. I noticed that. As well. It doesn't look well either. 64 and all the makeup now. You can see more of the wrinkles. LK, lots of stories going around about LK over the last few years, isn't there? Yeah. Forbidden Man says remembers BG when he worked for the London Underground. Really? Oh, very good. Oh, and Rose, there's a message for you. Rose Kirby, there's a message for you from Craig. He says, Rose, I remember from the Sea Devils show that you were interested in seeing John Pertwee as a vampire. If you're in the UK and have satellite TV, The House of Blood is on tonight, Legend Extra at 10 o'clock. Well, that's headlines finishing on the dot at 10. I need to see that one as well. Thanks for that, Craig. So, Rose, Craig's giving you a tip off there. Okay. Yeah. Just to let you know as well, if you're into the horror films, that our reviews of horror films with Peter Cushing return in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be looking at The Brides of Dracula. It's on the playlist now on our show page for you now. Okay, so you can set a reminder. And Jason Parker, the ugly chevron flag is pure toxic. I agree with the H thing. Very disappointed. From Danny to the Scissor Sisters, they've all portrayed gay men. Inclusive is bullying disguised as kindness. Exactly. Yeah, Jason, we're on the same page, aren't we? They've all followed the what do you call it? The party line, and it's poison. Stonewall have an awful lot to answer for now, I have to say. They really do. Pete Dark Lives Matter saying to me here, we should not be tolerant of bad ideas or immorality. I know. And yet, how many people are turning a blind eye? I heard today as well, I've seen today that, of course, various people that should possibly, in my opinion, be looked into by the old forces that be, i.e. aren't. Bloody shocking. Why aren't the police doing their job? It's worrying. This is why I don't feel safe in my own country now, everybody. I really don't. There are times where I just get a bit worried. In cities, as I have been recently, I get a little bit sort of like, I'm a bit more aware. That post is more convincing than Katy Perry in Space says reviews ransom religion. And it should be used for an autobiography cover, says I bet she used it. I bet she looks at something like that. Hi, Problem Being. How are you? Good to see you. Nice to see you. Yeah. Oh, no. We've got this one from Jess as well. Have you heard Netflix are taking Doctor Who? Okay, Amazon, MJ, but no. We're going to be talking more about the rumours of what's going on this week. They're all rumours, everybody. Come and join us at 8 o'clock. Be good to see you. And Problem Being saying to me, The House of Blood is so daft. I loved it. I've never seen it. So, yes, headlines will be finishing at 10 o'clock tonight. Got so much to cram into that big show for you as well. Anyway, so yes, that's where I'm up to with that, everybody, with those. So that was the Lorraine Carey Boy George thing. Utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. But what do you expect? Hello, I'm Levine. I heard the show was about to be axed anyway. Well over time. Well over time. Yes. What was I going to say? Yes. Keep it going. Keep it going. What was I going to say? Yes. If you're looking at Doctor Who merchandise, which I know a lot of you aren't, because it's nonsense, I have had some information, by the way, of Danilo calendars. Not one of my favorites, as you'll know if you're a long-term viewer on this channel. I don't really like them. I think they're all formatted. They look the same, but they bring out the official BBC Studios approved Doctor Who calendars, don't they? They've just announced, or I received the details this week, of their first one for the 2026 range. And I have to give them their credit. It's different. Still not interested in it. This is one of the larger ones that you might be able to get. So these are football ones and certain people where you open a piece of card and the calendar is inside on a card so that you can put it in a frame. So this is it here. This is the official 2026 Deluxe calendar from Danilo, which is coming out in September. You'll be able to get it if you're interested, not only online from Danilo, but you'll be able to get it from the Calendar Club shops that pop up from the end of September into October for Christmas. All right. Here's some examples of the calendars that are in it. Don't know what you all think about this. I don't know if they're done by various artists. I think they may be, but there you go. That's just an example of them. For me, it's a little bit, it's still, it's not what I'm interested in at all. It's not for me. It's not for me. The recommended retail price is $14.99, but it looks like you should be able to get it for $12.99 if you're interested. So this is the first one. The Doctor Who diary for 2026 from Danilo is out there as well. It's exactly the same as the one they've been churning out for the last few years. According to the release, I've got exactly the same. Yawn. However, stay with us here on Who's Views because there will be alternatives, and a big alternative as well is on the way. We're going to be looking at that here on the channel. At this point, I want to say thank you very much to Mark Holtz. Oh, actually, what's this? Are people saying anything to me? Cool and dry. It's nice to see you. A cup of tea, raspberry scones, and my friend JT having a rant. I love Sundays. I'm glad about that. I'm glad about that. Yes. What else? Were any of you saying anything about the calendar? Oh, Paul Ashworth is saying axe ITV full stop. It's crap. I'd rather get I'd have a word with all of them personally if I was in charge of everything. It's not going to happen though, is it? I'd rather buy a deluxe calendar, said Robert Payne. You know, fair enough. Good. What else we got here? Bill saying to us here, that calendar looks like someone has had their first experience of photophobia. And yeah, that's right there, Bubbles. Absolutely. And Jess is saying, whose views calendar for 2026? Contributions from the true Who fans. Stay with us. I'm going to be explaining what we're going to be supporting when the time comes. Yeah, thanks to Mark Holtz. Mark Holtz, you gave me an email, didn't you, at the Who's Views address? Thank you, Mark. He said he just finished watching Duel, our episode of Blake 7, because we're reviewing Blake 7 now. Lots of other things to come as well. And thank you very much for your email. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Yes, Douglas Camfield has directed the next one because he's saying, is there any chance that you're going to be reviewing Duel? Well, there's every chance. We've got 2 more coming up for you during July. We've got Mission to Destiny, season 1, episode 7, and then Duel itself, season 1, episode 8 is all coming for you in July. That's 2 Blake 7s in July, everybody. 2 of them. Isn't that fabulous? Thank you so much for listening to me. I feel a little bit better. I'm going off to get another cup of tea now and to get ready for the big show, which will be here in an hour's time, 8 o'clock here on Who's Views. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. And thank you for all your comments. Yeah, Problem Being saying, yeah, Avon lives. And thanks, John, for a great show. Thank you all. Don't forget, come back, come and join us in an hour's time for your big show, Headlines. See you then, everybody. Tra.